this trig function. Okay, if you remember from Friday, if I want to find the max and the min, or the extreme values here, what do I need to do? Find the derivative. So if I find the derivative here, I get the derivative of f prime x to equal 2 cosine x plus 2 sine 2x. Okay, now if those of you are wondering why is that the case, is because remember, the derivative of cosine is negative sine. Okay, but then you also need to take the derivative of this. This is one of those u substitutions. Now you don't necessarily need to write out u equals 2x, du equals 2. You can just throw the 2 in there. Okay, because you kind of had that before. So just to review, if you had something like sine of 4x, derivative of that would be 4 cosine 4x. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of what you can do there. So now what we need to do in order to find our critical numbers is we need to set that first derivative equal to 0. Oh, okay, so we need to set that first derivative equal to 0. So yeah, I can go ahead and factor out a 2, in which case I get cosine x plus sine of 2x. Now, what you can do, no, you can't take out the 2x. So if you divide both sides by 2, you're still stuck right here. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever get like a double angle, in this case like the 2x, you need to pull out that sheet I gave you, that one with the trigonometric relationships, and you need to see what sine of 2x is equivalent to. And this is the one, I think it's the trigonometry one, if you pull that out. You're looking right now for the double angle formulas. And the double angle formulas tell you that sine of 2x is equivalent to what?
2 sine x cosine x.
Yep. It equals 2 times sine x times cosine x. Because if you remember last year we talked a little bit about this. You can't mix a double angle and a single angle. You just can't do that. And so what we need to do is we need to use one of those formulas in order to break that down. And so now when I do that, I notice that each term now has a what? Cosine. So if I take a cosine out, I end up having 1 plus 2 sine x. So now I can actually solve that. And so I'm going to use my zero product property to solve that. Zero product property states that either cosine x equals 0 or 1 plus 2 sine x equals 0. So if you have your nice little sheet handy from last year, you'll know where cosine equals 0 from 0 to 2 pi. And where does cosine equal 0 from 0 to 2 pi? Pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Okay? So now on this next one, I'm looking for where sine x equals what? Negative 1/2. So once again, on your pink sheet from last year, where does sine equal negative 1/2? And the answer is at
11 pi over 6.
And
7 pi over 6.
yep.
Yeah.
So sine x at 7 pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6. So now if you remember, our next task is going to be to evaluate f at each one of those values. Okay, so I need to take f of pi over 2, f of 3 pi over 2. So f of pi over 2, f of 3 pi over 2, f of 7 pi over 6, f of 11 pi over 6.
Even if 0,
And you have to do f of 0, and you have to do f of 2 pi. So let's divide and conquer. Okay, there are a total of 6 right there. Anna, you take the first one. Christina, you take the 3 pi over 2. You've got 7 pi over 6. Dylan, 11 pi over 6. 0, 2 pi. Okay.
You just straight up enter that in the calculator.
What?
You just like straight up enter that in the calculator.
Yeah. You need to make sure you're in radian mode, or you need to convert each of those and use degree mode.
Just for the first equation. How do you know if you're in radian mode?
You go up to mode at the top left.
Ooh.
Okay? So when somebody gets an answer, if they want to go ahead and tell me what they got, and I'll go ahead and fill it in for you.
F of 0 is -1.
F of 0 is -1.
So
Okay.
it's 2 pi.
So is 2 pi. 2 pi is also -1. Okay.
Is negative 0.038 right? Or do I need to change that?
Negative point, what did you say?
0.038.
Don't think you should have.
You're doing everything right, Christina.
Does 3 sound
Yep.
correct?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
F of pi over 2 is 3.
Oh, negative 0.13.
Nope.
What about
Never do anything
syntax?
right, Ross.
I apparently can't, Christina, so the joke's on you. Syntax is wrong.
I keep getting negative 0.3.
Oh, no, I did it wrong.
On which one?
Christina's taking it.
On 3 pi over 2.
So you should have ended up getting sine of 270 times 2. So you end up getting -2 from your first round.
What?
So -2 minus.
Do I need
And
to
then you have
say-
cosine of 3 pi. So cosine of 3 pi, which is, so cosine of that, which is -1. So if you end up taking -2 minus -1, your answer is -1.
Hey guys, heads up, you can't type that straight in your calculator.
Oh, yeah.
You probably can, it's just a matter of you've got to make sure you use parentheses where they're at.
I use parentheses everywhere.
Nope, you didn't, because you took the cosine of 2, and then it took that answer times 3 pi over 2. So that's where your error is.
Where do you put the 2?
So
I
if you
know
do
what
this,
to do. Oh, I did it wrong. -1.5.
that is correct.
F.73.
You get -1.5 too. So anyway, now what I need to do is I need to go ahead and figure out which one is the greater and which one is the lesser. So which one is the greatest of the values?
3.
3. So this is where your max is. Where's your min?
-3 times.
The min is actually shared. And yes, you can have 2 minimums. That just means you have 2 lowest points in the graph. Okay, so you need to make sure to list both of them. And you're going to find that in on your homework. You're going to have some of these that have multiple maxes, some that have multiple mins. Okay, so what you would need to say is, and I'm running out of room, otherwise I would have written it, max at pi halves 3 and a min at 7 pi over 6, comma, -3 pi over 2 and 11 pi over 6, comma, -3 pi over 2. Okay. All right, so now what I need you to do is I need you to go ahead and get out your, assignment sheet, page 170. Okay, so I gave you your homework, and so I need you to go to page 170. I'm pretty sure you should have 170 in your packet. Okay, you're going to notice in page 170, there is problems 53 through 55. Okay, or 53 through 58, I take that back. This is group work. Okay, so I need you to pair off. If you notice, it says in exercises 53 and 54, graph a function on the interval having the given characteristics. So you go from -2 to 5, and it has the given characteristics. So you need to do that on 53 and 54. On 55 through 58, it says determine from the graph whether f has a minimum in the open interval a, b. Notice you should have yes or no answers on 55 through 58, and each one of those has 2. You have an A and a B. Okay, so that's group work. I need you to get that done before the end of the period.